Now, that's what I want. Come on.
You got Lamont what? By how many rounds?
I don't know. Man, you gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned.
That should have awarded Lamont Roach the fight. That he should have been the winner. He should have been the winner.
Boxing experts and pros are slamming the judges after Lamont Roach's controversial bout with Gervonta Davis. Many argue Roach deserved more credit, with Luke Thomas even calling him the best opponent Tank has faced yet. Regardless of the official decision, Roach's reputation has soared, showcasing his elite skills by pushing Davis to one of his toughest fights.
Man, Lamont told me he was the best opponent that Tank has faced. I don't think that that's wrong after today. I know some people were saying Pedraza. You could say Pedraza too, but for 5 snakes, Roach is better than I thought. All right? Okay, here we go.
Renowned boxer Terence Crawford voiced his frustration on social media, declaring, "They robbed that boy and it's crazy." His reaction amplifies the controversy surrounding the fight's outcome, fueling the perception of injustice toward Roach. Fans and fighters alike are condemning the scoring, with some calling it a blatant robbery. Despite the result, Roach's performance showcased his resilience, power, and ring IQ, pushing Tank into deep waters. No matter the decision, Roach has earned massive respect in the boxing world.
And then sticks his head out the ropes, gets a towel on it, and then gets back in there and is like, okay, now I'm good. And the referee's like, oh yeah, this is totally normal protocol. What the fuck was that? What was that? Dude, was that factored in? It doesn't appear that was factored in, given the scores. That should have, and I'm being serious when I say this, that should have awarded Lamont Roach the fight. That he should have been the winner. He should have been the winner. That you take a fucking knee and then you stick your head out the ropes and the referee doesn't do anything? Dude, what are we talking about here? He elected, dude, what is the difference between that knee and the knee that Ryan Garcia elected to take? Ultimately, Ryan just stayed on his knee, but, would have counted the same way. He got on his knee. I don't understand that at all. So this result to me is actually really, really, really confusing. I'm not saying that there's, like, for example, you might respond, well, they'll just make the Shakur Stevenson fight anyway if they can. And that is a reasonable, totally, very, very plausible scenario that we could all see ourselves into. Fair enough. Okay, fine. You might say, well, they're going to do a rematch. Okay, I suppose they could do that. They might bring that one home. I wouldn't hate that, I guess. I'm happy for Lamont Roach.
Following the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, former welterweight champion Shawn Porter argued that round 9 should have been scored 10-8 in Roach's favor. Porter's claim is based on a moment where Davis appeared to take a knee, which many saw as a knockdown, an event that typically results in a 10-8 score. His stance fuels the ongoing debate over the fight's scoring and the judges' decisions. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach remains confident in his performance, stating, "I got skills that pay bills, but I'm glad to show my skills. I think I won." His words reflect his belief that he outclassed Davis and deserved the victory.
He had a tremendous performance, and this was a performance that this man knew he had in him. He had a confidence all week going into this fight, and you all saw why he had that confidence. A great performance, Lamont. I know you're frustrated because you wanted the win. You felt like you won. So just thoughts on the fight, and after having a couple of minutes to decompress, what are you thinking right now?
I mean, obviously I want to go back and watch it, but clearly in there, man, I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the motherfucking bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate True Boxing Media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won, and I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
Observers noted that Roach appeared highly prepared for Davis's strategies, reading his movements and countering effectively. His preparation enabled him to execute a game plan that nullified many of Davis's usual tactics. This led some to argue that the fight wasn't as close as the scorecard suggested, and that Roach's performance was nothing short of exceptional.
A draw? A draw. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. And I'm a take fan. My boy lost that fight tonight. It just seemed like Lamont knew everything Tank was gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and say Tank didn't do anything right, because that would be a straight lie. Tank definitely had moments in this fight, but Roach surprised us all. You can definitely tell they know each other. I honestly just can't get over this though. Like, what was he doing? He's lucky they didn't count this. If they would have counted this, he would have definitely lost. Cal, I don't care what you have to do. I know you said you had a lot going on. You need to be back in the head trainers. But he was even screaming at you. I've never seen Tank yell at you before. Above all, man, shout out to Lamont. You definitely earned my respect tonight. I didn't even know you for this fight, but I know you now. We have to have a rematch. I already know what y'all about to say. Man, but comment below.
Boxing analyst Benny Well raised concerns about the judging in the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, tweeting, "From a true boxer's opinion, how do the judges not take into consideration the knee as a knockdown?" His statement echoes growing frustration over the controversial scoring and perceived bias in the decision. Former super middleweight contender Gervonta Love also weighed in, asserting that Roach outboxed Davis and did enough to earn the victory. Love's perspective adds to the chorus of boxing professionals questioning the judge's decision.
Hey man, what you think? The crowd didn't seem to like the draw. Did you think that was the right call?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I love Gervonta. Obviously, we come from a lot of the same shit. But I love boxing, and I seen Lamont Roach outclass Gervonta Davis tonight.
Yeah.
And I ain't against him, Tank. I'm just a boxer. If you ask me, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I thought Lamont did enough to receive the victory.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't go his way. It was a good fight. Boxing fans won. Shit. I think if anytime you take a knee or touch the canvas, glove touch, and it's due to a punch, or even if you hurt and you go down, that's a knockdown. That's what I know from the rules of boxing since it started. You touch the canvas, it was not counted. You put a halt to the fight to go get the face wipe. These are all penalties, points, all different shit. So, from the game that I know if I was in that bitch, they would have been a lockdown. But it is what it is. You can't let the cash cow go.
That's the
You put it out these arenas, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, man. So, he was better against Frank Martin. It looked like he was flat tonight.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
And Lamont Roach is a stellar fucking fighter. If you know Lamont Roach, know his father, know his brother, know the whole, they come from a great pedigree of boxing, and you've seen that tonight.
The opening rounds of the fight were tightly contested, with both fighters having their moments. However, as the bout progressed, even some of Davis's supporters, who often praise his ring IQ, acknowledged that his strategic sharpness seemed to fade. This shift allowed Roach to seize opportunities, potentially turning the fight in his favor.
Wasn't that some shit? Man, Lamont Roach did really good, man. It's hard for me to say this, but he could have won that fight. The first half of the fight was relatively close. And then, Tank started picking it up a little bit, like he does the ends of the rounds. He started throwing some punches, landed some good shots. He busted open Roach's nose. But then when you thought Tank was going to start taking over, this kid, Lamont, was, every time Tank would land something, it's almost as if he was there too long and he got countered with maybe even 2-3 better shots multiple times. It was all night. I was oh my God, this is crazy right now. Very shocking. I wouldn't have been mad. And then the knee that he took, I thought it was because he didn't have his mouth guard in at first. And then it was because he said something was in his eye. Man, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm a big Tank fan. And I've always given him credit for his IQ in the ring. That was a low fucking Lima Bean IQ fucking moment for him. I want to see a rematch though. I think maybe Tank was sleeping on him a little bit. I'm not mad with the draw, but I wouldn't have been mad with Roach winning either. I thought they were going to still give it to Tank because he's the cash cow.